What's up everyone? AJ here on Day Trader Boomer Bust, back with the daily recap video. I hope your trading day was good. Mine was better than yesterday after yesterday's big red day. If you didn't see that, make sure you check out yesterday's recap video. So I was really focused on tightening things up and just putting in good trades. I only took 4 trades today and managed to be green 2.6R. So make sure you stay tuned to find out exactly how I got there. Here's today's watch list. I post this watch list every morning between 9 and 9:15 a.m. Eastern. If you want to make sure to catch that, then give me a follow on my Twitter at AJ So today on my primary, I had Neo and Lucid, LCID, which were both trading on news, mostly because the automakers were reporting numbers, but there was additional news on LCID. I also had Skills, which was trading up on Wall Street's Wall Street bets action, and I also had Baba on there, which I traded yesterday, but I really felt was going to make a solid move today. On the secondary, I had Mara and Apple, which both look good on the daily. And then I had Zoom, Piton, and PLTR as continuation plays. So let's jump into the trades. So, as I mentioned in the intro there, I only took 4 trades today, which is a lot more like it. I know that when I am on my game, I generally keep my trade count to around 6 to 8 trades per day. That's not to say that I'm not open to trading more than that, obviously. I have. Most of the times, though, like yesterday and other days in the past, if I'm taking a lot of trades, it's probably because I'm not really having a good day. And that's something I want to work on and improve on as a trader, because I really want to be comfortable trading all day and not missing out on opportunities. And with that said, even though I'm going to go through this and I had a really positive green day, I really missed out on quite a few opportunities and plays that would have increased my profit. But I wanted to stay disciplined today, and I didn't want to push it. So first trade today, as you can see over here, was a trade on Baba. Baba was a stock that I totally messed up yesterday, but today I was patient and I definitely managed to trade it much better. So you can see here, this was a 1 minute opening range breakout on the daily. Baba just really looks strong, and a lot of the other Chinese-based stocks were all moving up. So I had a lot of reason to believe that Baba was going to do the same. So it opened up with this small doji candle, and then as it pushed above this doji candle and above pre-market high here, I went long. So even though I traded much better today, I am a little disappointed. I mean, sorry, I shouldn't say disappointed, but I made some mistakes today for sure. And you can see here that I partialed here instead of just waiting for my full 2R target, which was actually just right at this this R6 level right over here. But I kind of saw it stall there, and you can see that it consolidated here, which made me a little bit uncertain about whether or not it was going to hit my 2R profit target. And because see this wick, sorry, let me just clear this out, but this wick here almost hit my 2R profit target, and then it immediately came back on me. So I was like, oh my goodness, here we go again with this morning opening volatility that was going to come and get me. I was definitely a little bit on edge, I guess you could say, with this particular play after this whole consolidation here. So when it pushed up above this VPOC level, that's why I took the partial. Now, I'm not totally disappointed with that. I'm actually okay with that partial, even though it's not generally my trade plan. What I am disappointed with is this, because here we are, we pushed above, we held, we closed above the VPOC, and it looks strong. But I talked myself out of the trade instead of waiting for this huge run up and taking and being able to take a hell of a lot more profit. Just to give you an idea of how painful the rest of this was, let me. Oh, sorry. Let me zoom out here, and once I move this over, you can see here that the original trade exit was right here, and this moved up huge. I literally only managed to get what, maybe 15% of this move. Now, with my particular strategy with the all in and the all out, this happens quite a bit, but because I partialed there and I wasn't patient, I could have at least gotten out here or here. So that was a little bit disappointing, but I also feel that that's a byproduct of how my trading's has been recently, and I really wanted to start the day off green. And getting back to, oops, sorry, getting back to the main screen here, so you can see that on this BABA trade, I took just a little bit under my 2R profit target. After that, I left BABA alone because I didn't want to get fixated on it again, and I was a little bit, well, you've already seen, I was a little bit not upset, but disappointed that I missed this big move, so I didn't want to find myself chasing that. So I saw an opportunity on Zoom. So here it is. This is Zoom for the day, and let's take a look at the 5-minute chart, because I'm pretty sure that's where I saw the opportunity begin to materialize. Okay, so Zoom, you can see here, really pushed up on a huge green candle at the beginning of the day, and then it threw a doji, and then an upside down hammer, and was really throwing all these wicks to the top side, and just it looked like it might be weak, but because of this big push up, my strategy is a trend continuation at this point, and so that's what I tried here. And what you can see is when it bounced off of, so let's go to the 1 minute, because actually that will illustrate a little bit more. So what I saw here was it consolidated in this area, and then it came down, but it came down on really low volume, relatively low volume. You can see this big red candle. So I really thought that this was going to continue trending up. So usually I like to play this on the off of the candle that bounces off this red 20 EMA moving average, but this time it continued to move on and it wicked off of the VWAP, and I went long at so let me zoom in here so you can see this a little bit better. Oh, sorry, a little too far there. Okay, so like I said, I went long right over here when the price pushed back above the high of this candle here, with a stop loss that was right about here. Almost, I didn't quite go to the bottom of this wick, and as you can see, it went in my direction. Now, because it gone my direction, and as I've been doing recently, I moved my stop loss to initially the bottom of wick of this particular my entry candle, and then as it got towards the top here, I actually moved it to the bottom of this candle because it was just below VWAP, and then sorry. So I did move it to that candle, and then when it went up, I actually think, sorry, I'm just, sorry, I'm replaying this in my head. And this wick here was just below where my profit target, which was around this level, a little lower than this level. Forget, sorry, jeez. Um, my profit target, my 2 hour profit target was around here. So you can see that it wicked here and was well past 1 hour. So I had moved to break even, and and then unfortunately it came and stopped me out right over here. Had I left, now my strategy generally is supposed to be that I leave my stop loss here where it was originally set and just wait for the 2R. As you can see, it never would have stopped me out after this consolidation. It more than would have hit my 2R profit target. But, you know, I just found that more times than not, that trade management of moving the stop loss to break even, at least over the past 2 or 3 weeks, or the month of August, really helped limit losses. So, disappointing that this would have hit, but I'm not too upset about that. What I am upset about is this next trade. The second trade, you can see it consolidated in this area. And as I mentioned already, I was a little bit bullish on this because of this low volume big red candle. So as it consolidated here, I put a stop loss right at the bottom of this wick, and I went long when it broke above this initial consolidation right over here. And I just, now as I look back, I really feel I was kind of chasing this because it didn't really set up. I should have waited, a little bit longer, and, waited for a little bit more confirmation for it to move up, and, before I entered the trade. But, it was just, that's maybe more hindsight than not, but I do feel that I was chasing at this point because I was a little bit frustrated that I missed this initial move had I not moved my stop loss. Anyways, that was that, and then my next trade was actually quite a long one, and this was my last trade of the day. So let me just move over here. So what ended up happening with this particular trade, after it failed, to push up over here, when it came back to test VWAP and this level right over here, it definitely looked weak to me. Also on the level 2, there were bids that were sitting at 295 over here and lower. So there was a bit of a ladder that was built up. So because of that, so this was my stop out on this trade here. What I did was, when it threw this doji candle here and it pushed below VWAP, I went short. And you can see that for quite some time, let me zoom out here a little bit more, it consolidated, it consolidated in this area here for quite some time. And because of that, I was, again, because I was green for the day, I didn't want to give back any profit, and I wanted to take whatever profit was available to me. So you can see it went here and touched here, and at this 295.20 level, it just seemed to keep getting bought up. So the third time, I partialed here just in case it bounced up, and it did bounce up again. At this point, my stop loss was at break even, which was right around here. So you can see this wick almost stopped me out, but it went down again, and when it did this move down here, it touched this just before this 295 lot of bids here, I took another partial because I just wasn't sure what it was going to do at this point because it had been consolidating for quite some time. So I was already decently green on the trade after those two partials, and my stop loss was already at break even. So I just wanted to give this time to work. And as you can see, what happened was it came up here, didn't even come close to testing my stop loss, which was right about here, and then it really started to once it got to these 295 bids, which were right here, it really sold off, and I got another partial here, which was at this R3 level, and then there were another lot of bids at 294 here. So I partialed here, and then I got all out over here. I think on this particular trade, because see, and this is the thing, had I held on to this entire way from my original entry, this would have been over 3R. But I don't know if I'd be able to sit through that, honestly. But it would have been a 3R trade because of all those partials, and this is why I get in and all out. Because of all those partials, my return on this trade, let's just go back here, was again only 138 bucks, which is I think 1.8 R. So it was less than a 2R profit target, which I would have had I just you know kept kept my original range order in, because this was where my 2R profit target was. But anyways, green is green. I'm overall I'm happy with the day, and again I'm happy to bounce back after yesterday's 5R loss. So there it is. Thanks so much for tuning in. Hopefully you enjoyed that. And until tomorrow's recap, this is AJ on Day Trader Boomer Bust signing off. Cheers.